Newcastle Hospitals is one of the largest foundation trusts in Great Britain. Each year we make over 1.3 million patient contacts. That's enough to fill nearby St James's Park 65 times over. In 2011, we delivered over 6,500 babies, treated over 1 million people in outpatients, and completed over 600,000 surgical procedures. But we're more than just a group of hospitals, clinics and units. In serving an entire northeastern region of over 3 million people, much of our work is also community-based. Of course, it's often all too easy to see our jobs as just work. But a normal day for us is for a patient or visitor potentially the most important day of their lives. However confident we become in our roles, it's something that as healthcare professionals we can never afford to forget.
Well, the patient can be apprehensive, concerned, so our staff at all times, whether our housekeeping staff or our senior consultants, need to come across in a supportive way that gives confidence to the patient in everything that we do.
The reception staff are always very friendly and helpful and apologise if you have to wait to be seen.
He took the time to explain the procedures and what I should expect in the long run.
The nursing staff had a lot to deal with on a really busy surgical ward, but they always had smiles on their faces.
I always felt like an individual and not a number, as if I really mattered to all concerned.
The care and compassion of the nurses and auxiliaries on a daily basis was excellent.
I've always found the outpatients appointments very good in every way and could be any better.
The ward sister had high expectations of her staff and they delivered.
All the members of staff treated me with respect and fully explained the treatment I would be receiving.
I felt at complete ease and was never hurried.
The radiology staff were excellent, not just friendly, they put me at total ease.
I think patients do feel anxious and vulnerable when they come into hospital. I think we very often take it for granted. We get up, we get dressed, we come to work in a hospital or in the community settings every day of our lives, and it's our bread and butter. For the patients, this is a really big event to come into hospital. And I think it's important that staff also try and think about how vulnerable they feel when they've started a new job or when they've gone somewhere strange, and try and remember that that's how our patients feel every day.
However, we all need to recognise that on occasions we do get it wrong. Patients can be disappointed by their experience of Newcastle hospitals. This can make an enormous difference to their overall experience of Newcastle hospitals as a whole. It's often the small things we do. It's often what we say or don't say. We may rush a patient, may not listen, or often not realise that this is the first time they've ever been into hospital and they are simply terrified. A mother arrives with her 3-year-old son. An hour ago they were planning to meet friends and visit the Hancock Museum. Now they're waiting for test results. The boy is crying and wants to know what's going to happen. Mum can't explain what she doesn't know. They sit and watch the staff moving around. They're wearing different uniforms. Who does what? The ward smells unfamiliar. They feel lost, confused, and scared. What will happen next? A self-employed man has just injured himself at work. He's waiting for an operation. He's putting on a brave face, but all he can think about is how, if he can't work, will he support his family or make the next mortgage payment? It's difficult to be self-critical, but do any of these real-life examples mean anything to you? The patient survey also identified
communication between staff was poor.
It appeared chaotic at times.
Staff seemed more interested in discussing their social lives.
There appeared to be a lack of motivation.
Being informed about delays would have been a bit helpful.
Staff were a little offhand at times and abrupt in manner.
If the staff aren't friendly and patients don't feel they've had a good experience, they're not going to feel safe here, they're not going to trust us, they're not likely to want to come back. They're going to tell all their friends that they had a bad experience, and we want people to come here because we have a good reputation and because patients are well cared for here.
At Newcastle Hospitals, we are committed to providing healthcare at its very best, with a personal touch. That's not just an empty promise or a piece of marketing speak, it's a genuine statement of our beliefs and our intent. We believe that teaching by example is always the most effective. That's why the best way to learn about these positive behaviours is from the colleagues around you.
We try to understand the person for who they are and what their specific needs are. The danger is that we're so busy within the hospital that we just do what we do every day, and sometimes that's not appropriate for individuals. So the need to listen to patients will identify what their specific needs are and help them then feel that they've been treated as a good individual.
I mean, for me, it's all about agreeing a plan and making sure we're all working towards the same goals, the parents and us on the clinical side.
For me, this is all about the patients knowing that this is a safe place where they can share any concerns that they may have.
For me, it's all about ensuring that the patient information is correct.
For me, it's all about the team knowing everything that's going on with that patient and being updated.
For me, it's all about making them laugh.
For me, it's all about being clear and consistent when giving advice and guidance to my staff.
It's about meeting everybody's dietary needs.
I try to make them feel comfortable. If possible, under the circumstances, have a bit of a laugh with them.
For me, it's all about understanding the physical needs of patients.
For me, it's all about making sure that the patient feels welcome even when I'm having a bad day.
For me, it's about making sure the right records get to the right clinic at the right time.
I think it's the small things that are about seeing that person as an individual. I always say to my team that when we're dealing with patients, we ought to have in our mind, how would I want to be treated? How would I want my mum and dad to be treated? How would I want my kids to be treated?
If it was me, what would I want after my delivery and how I'd want to be treated?
For me, it's all about making the patient feel confident.
So for me, it's all about us working as a team, keep the department running smoothly and the clinics running on time.
For me, it's all about helping the patient understand why they're here, what's the matter with them and how they're going to get better, and then what's going to happen in the future.
It's about making them feel welcome and making them feel at home, and a smile is the best thing you can do as they walk into the ward. The parents are terrified, they need to feel like they're coming home.
For me, it's all about keeping the hospital clean and tidy.
For me, it's all about being helpful in a supportive way.
Well, for me, it's all about genuinely giving a damn. And I think you have to see yourself in the eyes of the patient.
For me, it's all about making patients feel welcome and keeping them informed.
I think the patient experience matters at a whole range of levels. It's not just about the interaction between doctors and nurses. The patient experience starts when the patient's first referred to the trust. So it's important that the letter they get gives them the information they need, that we've spelt their name correctly, that when they arrive at the hospital they can park their car, the receptionist who greets them is pleasant, the porter who gives them directions is helpful and friendly. It isn't just about the staff on the wards and in the departments.
Experience is very much about the overall journey. Have we met expectations? And I do believe in Newcastle, in the majority of instances, we do.
They're absolutely amazing. They've saved my life on more than one occasion.
Brilliant right the way from start to finish. I mean, it was brilliant today when we came in, but when he had his operation, it was just fantastic.
Her admission into outpatients has been brilliant. It's from the start when we came in.
It's quite comforting in a way, knowing you're actually going to come in sometimes for your treatment.
Suddenly your fears to rest, you know, they assure you that things are going to be all right.
Last night I was getting ready for my first shot of chemo and the nurse just stood at the door and shouted, "It's chemo time." To me that was fun, you know.
They just know what to do just straight away because they know you as a person. They take the time out to come and speak to you.
Very, very good at explaining what's happening, what's going on in the process. They tell us, you know, this is the consequences of the pathies that she's got. You know, it could affect her this way or that way, and what the next steps are, so we feel fully informed all the way through.
And it's that personal touch that's important to the patients, I think, and very often the things that are of most value to the patients cost us nothing at all, and that is the smile or the extra few seconds with somebody or touching their arm when they're anxious and knowing that you're treating them as individuals.